Relativity Fest 2020, and thank you for joining us for the promise of Aero UI, a simply powerful platform. My name is Victor Foreman, and I'm a Director of Product Management at Relativity. I've been helping to lead our teams to deliver Aero UI, and I'm so excited to be able to talk with you about it today at Relativity Fest 2020. Very simple agenda for this session today, and I think it will be valuable and informative regardless of whether you are already experiencing Aero UI in Relativity 1 today, or if you are using Relativity Server today, or even if you are not a Relativity user today. I'm going to briefly give some context for where we've come from and why we built Aero. Then I want to share where we are and what Aero delivers for Relativity 1 users today. And finally, we'll spend some time looking at what is yet to come, some really exciting work that will continue to build on the promise of Aero. Let's start with a little history. You may have heard this story before. The journey that we've been on to bring Aero to life began quite a while ago. It began with the realization that Relativity has always delivered a ton of power, but hasn't been the most intuitive and approachable platform. You can see it a bit in these screenshots of what we now call classic Relativity. Lots of calls to action, lots of choices placed right in front of you, little emphasis on what is most important versus less important. The power and capability certainly is there, but we know that this type of user experience isn't good enough when we think about modern expectations that we all have for SaaS products. We all expect and need the products that we use to be both fully capable and easy to use. And so Aero UI and the mindset of simply powerful was born. Our North Star going forward is to deliver simply powerful experiences. This means maintaining the unique power and capability of Relativity that allows you to organize data, discover the truth, and act on it like no other product can, while at the same time delivering a simple, intuitive, and even delightful experience to all users. I want to underscore a key point there. The simply powerful mindset does not remove the unique power and capability of Relativity. In fact, it augments it via a more thoughtful user experience. You will see this come to life right now as you experience Aero UI, which was just released to all Relativity 1 customers over the past 30 days. As I mentioned, today we're going to talk about the new Aero UI experience. And we're also going to look at what Aero UI unlocks for the future. It's important to know that the launch of Aero isn't just a 2019-2020 story. It is just a beginning. Why do I say just a beginning? Because ease of use, time to value, and an intuitive user experience will always matter. Your expectations will and should continue to increase. You will see simply powerful come to life in everything that we do as we continue to drive the product forward. Let's now take a closer look at the Aero UI experience that was just released. Aero consists of a lot of meaningful changes aligned to these 5 pillars: modern aesthetics, a rebuilt next-gen viewer, intuitive workflow-based navigation, a focus on speed and performance, and a really exciting and impactful innovation in automated workflows. We're going to spend some time on each. As we dive in here, you will see visual examples of each of these pillars, as well as direct quotes from some of our customers who have been using Aero UI already, including some who began using Aero UI in their production instances, their real-world day-to-day work, since as early as April this year as part of our Advanced Access program. The feedback from those users in particular has really helped us shape and improve the Aero experience, and we are very grateful for the partnership. While I want to be clear that Aero is not just a fresh coat of paint on Relativity, updating the aesthetics to align with modern expectations is a huge part of Aero. This is a data-driven, platform-wide focus on the user experience with the goal of making all users instantly feel more confident as they use Relativity. We achieve this through thoughtful and consistent approaches to color. For example, blue indicates primary actions, orange indicates where you are in the software. We achieved it through typography and font hierarchy, giving a clear indication of what is most important on a page. We achieve this confidence via user experience through consistent and common icons as you navigate across pages and applications, and through spacing, an area that we have iterated on extensively as we find the right balance between comfort and breathing room on the one hand and data density on the other. As you can see there visually, as well as from John's quote, the freshness and modern appeal of the UI really comes through. The document viewer has been rebuilt from the ground up for Aero. Why did we feel the need to re-architect the viewer? Really, it is to bring Simply Powerful to life in this critical part of the platform. We want to make reviewing and taking action on documents easier and faster than ever. We've simplified the UI to benefit from the modern aesthetics that we just talked about, but we also dramatically increase the speed of jumping into the document viewer and navigating doc to doc. Both of these actions, jumping in and going doc to doc, now take less than half a second on average. For really large documents, you will now see those stream in and be instantly interactive, rather than having to wait for the full document to load before interacting with it. And finally, we've significantly enhanced the API coverage in the viewer, making the ability to create unique review experiences simpler and more powerful. Navigation gets a major upgrade in Aero. No longer will users have to manage the complexity and confusion caused by so many tabs visible across the top of their screens. We've introduced what we call the sidebar on the left-hand side of the screen. It is a third level of navigation that is fully customizable and allows you to organize tabs and categories by user workflow. You can also see that we've added an All Tabs menu, giving easy, one-click access to every tab that a user has permissions to access. The full effect of these navigation changes in Aero is that the cognitive load is reduced and your movement through Relativity is now more logical and intuitive. One of the things we've heard almost universally from users who have been using Aero already is that it has been a very seamless and intuitive transition into Aero. These navigation changes, which have been refined along the way based on user feedback, are really helping on that front. A huge element of any Simply Powerful platform is performance. It was really important to us as we were building Aero that speed and performance got just as much focus and attention as things like the modern aesthetic and intuitive navigation. A lot of engineering work has gone into these changes, and we've modernized the architecture of Relativity 1 so that when you're jumping from page to page, you can fly through the software. We all experience varying degrees of speed in the sites and applications that we use day to day. And we tend to think about the negative impact of slow sites just in the context of the moment. Why is it taking so long for this article to load? But when you think about Relativity and the amount of time that users are in the platform every day, the net effect for all users of this focus and improvement on speed is that cumulatively, as Liraz speaks to in this quote that you can see, you can get a whole lot more done in Relativity in less time and therefore create value elsewhere. And finally, we are so excited about automated workflows, a new capability that will deliver step function change in how you work in Relativity and how quickly you can get things done. Automated workflows is a powerful set of triggers and actions that can easily be connected to create a workflow that runs without human intervention. This means that you can get data into reviewers' hands more quickly. You no longer need to worry about human error when updating indexes, processing documents, and more. And ultimately, you can spend more time on high-value activities that move your business forward rather than time-consuming administrative processes. We are so excited to introduce automated workflows and even more excited about its future, which I'll touch on just a little later. So that's Aero today. But as I mentioned before, and I will say again because it's so important, the launch of Aero UI isn't just a 2020 story. It is just a beginning. The mindset of Simply Powerful will continue to guide every improvement to existing features and the development of new features going forward. I'm going to walk through just a few visual examples of how you will continue to see Simply Powerful come to life across the full Relativity experience. Migrating workspaces from Relativity Server to Relativity One will be simply powerful. We are launching a new product called Migrate that will enable workspaces to be migrated in just 6 mouse clicks rather than the 90 plus it takes today. An intuitive interface will allow you to select and quickly migrate hundreds or even thousands of workspaces, and a scheduler will help with migration planning. Performance gets amped up as well, making it much easier and faster than ever before to make the shift to Relativity One. We are applying the Simply Powerful mindset of Aero UI to processing as well. You will now have an intuitive one-stop shop with the power to filter data, address file errors, and publish your data. Even do file level publish or republish. And you can easily track progress of all your processing jobs with our new jobs page seen here. Earlier, we talked about the amazing benefits that you will see from automated workflows. This new product will continue to evolve and grow, making it even more powerful. Coming soon are additional triggers that you can use to kick off an automated workflow, including the ability to trigger off of the completion of a different automated workflow, to get much more specific about the types of document import jobs that you want to trigger your automated workflow off of, and even to add day and time gates to your triggers. Here you can see how you can add those day and time gates to your triggers, as well as some of the new actions that will be coming soon. You'll have the ability to image documents, OCR documents, and run analytics jobs, just to name a few. In addition, we've built automated workflows on a very extensible foundation, so we expect and encourage that partners will build additional capabilities on top of this framework. Finding the data and truth will be simply powerful. We've already begun and will continue to focus very deeply on search. With Aero, we introduced a feature allowing users to easily and quickly rerun their recent searches, eliminating the need to retype the query. We will continue to enhance this feature based on your feedback, including the ability to easily combine multiple recent searches into one query. The most common searches that you and your end users run should be dead simple. We are making it easy for any user, regardless of their level of experience in relativity, to find documents based on people, dates, and common coding decisions without needing to know complex syntax or ambiguous fields. You should always have clarity on your query, including what conditions, filters, and query text is driving your results, as well as the impact of adding and removing search criteria on your result set. Search steps, which you can see on the right side of this screenshot, will show the progression and impact as you refine your queries. And finally, search should make you more powerful. You shouldn't have to know all the exact terms to find those most important documents. We will integrate conceptually similar terms into the main search interface and surface those proactively to help you find not only what you are looking for, but also what you didn't necessarily know you were looking for. Once you've narrowed down to a set of documents, we will be combining the power of the document preview functionality that exists in Aero today with the ability to quickly and simply make coding decisions and edits directly in the document list. The ability to inline edit in the list will reduce clicks and streamline those simple coding and tagging decisions. And finally, not all examples of simply powerful need to touch workflows. Sometimes power is all about giving the end user the ability to make software work and look the way that they need it to. Many of us find dark mode more comfortable and usable. Aero and the design system that underpins it allows us to move forward with quality of life improvements like this. What we've just walked through is really just a taste of what is yet to come. I hope you enjoyed this session and walk away with a greater understanding of how simply powerful is going to guide our approach for everything that we do in relativity, and how that in turn will drive more value for everything that you do in relativity. If you want to learn more about Aero, I highly encourage you to check out these sessions coming up both in the next few days as well as on demand. And finally, thank you very much for attending today. Please fill out the session survey and enjoy the rest of your day.